Hi, my name is Agha, and I'm a Reiki master and a shamanic practitioner. And in these short video clips for the next 3 weeks, I'm going to be sharing with you a way that you can start to create a daily practice in your life. A practice that will connect you to your heart, connect you to spirit, and fill you full of power. This is day 2. So yesterday, we set the very strong intention that you would show up for yourself every day for the next 21 days. And you were asked to go and find a space in your home that you could dedicate to your sacred space. Now, this could be a separate room if you're lucky enough to have that much space around you, or it could be a corner of your bedroom if you share a house with others, or it could be another place in your living space. But the main thing is, it's a place that you can go to be at your most private and to be at your most authentic. So hopefully you will have found that space now and cleared it. With the intention that this is going to be the space that you will go to show up for yourself every day. So I just want to say a few things on why a sacred space. We have a sacred space because what we do is we create a very own temple space in our own home. We create a place of power. We create a place of intention. We create a place that we go to show up for ourselves every day, to connect to our hearts, to pray, to set intentions, to manifest. We go to a place that holds us every day and then becomes our place of power and our daily practice. And by a daily practice, I mean something that feeds us. So every day we brush our teeth and we eat, and we probably drink some water. We feed ourselves. If we don't brush our teeth will probably drop out and rot. If we don't feed ourselves, eventually we'll die. And it's exactly the same thing with our inner world. If we don't feed our spirits, if we don't feed our hearts, if we don't feed our spiritual connection, our inner world, a part of us dies. We start to feel disconnected. Life doesn't flow. We feel at the mercy of the world. This is where we go to. Your sacred space is where you go to fill yourself full of love and power, so you may go out into the world and be the best that you can be and be everything that you came here to be. This is the space that you go to deepen your connection with spirit. Now, people sometimes say, I don't know what spirit is. I don't believe in something out there. I think the spirits are out to harm me. That's a whole other topic, and it is something that we will look at. For now, for those of you who are feeling those things or have those questions, spirit is that indefinable energy that is all around us, that we feel in a sunset or a sunrise, that we feel when our heart swells with love, that we feel when we go to a beautiful place in nature, when we feel powerful, when we feel joyful. That is spirit. That is the mystery of life. That is the great mystery and the great unseen. That is what we fill ourselves full of when we go to our sacred space. And as that mystery, as that joy, as that love moves through us, we start to live an authentic, connected life. We become all we came here to be. Some people call this spirit. Some people call it the great mystery, the great unseen. Some people call it the universe, the cosmos. Some people call it God. Some people call it the goddess. Some people call it Mother, Father, God. Some people call it the above and the below. It doesn't matter, they're just words. It's about your connection to that energy and how it moves through you. And you can find that. And it does not require any scriptures. It does not require any rules other than being in your heart and having a daily practice, showing up for yourselves, living your life authentically and truthfully, being the best that you can be being all you came here to be, being that channel. When I heal, I'm not doing anything. I'm a channel for the energy that flows through me. That's how I know that every day is a dance with that great mystery and that great spirit. So if I don't fill myself full of power every day, if I don't connect every day, I feel depleted. I feel disconnected. That great energy is around us all the time. We just need to tap into it consciously. I hope that explains a little bit about what I mean by connecting to spirit, to that great mystery, to that energy. But you will find it out for yourself, and you will probably give it your own name. If you haven't already, it's hard to cater one clip to everyone who's out there. But for those of you who already have this as a practice and you're reconnecting, then you will understand some of what I'm saying, I'm sure. Okay, so you're going to find your items for your sacred space. These are power items. These are items, images that fill you with joy, with love, with inspiration, with power. So images. As I mentioned in the first clip, as you will see behind me, I have an image of the Buddha and the goddess Bridget. I'm not attached to either of those, but they both evoke something in me. The element of fire for the goddess Bridget, which I really relate to that element. The strength behind that, the passion behind that image. And there's something about the image of the Buddha that really calls to me, that helps me feel a certain way, that brings a certain sense of calm into my space. And I like having that image in my space. But I'm not attached to them. And these images will change as I change through the course of a month or a week or a year. So it's a good idea to choose images that inspire you or fill you with power in some way. I would steer clear of images that are of celebrities. I once said to someone, bring images to, we were doing healings together, bring images to a healing of the divine feminine. And she brought in images of actresses from the 1940s, I think it was. Now, that was her idea of the divine feminine, and there is no judgment here. It's whatever works for you. What I would say is having an image of an actor, or actress, or a pop star, or something like that. Often we know a lot about their life. We know a lot about their personal choices, and so when we look at that image, we're on some level going through that thought process where we're connecting with their story, and it isn't about connecting with another human being's story. It's about finding an image that reignites that spark of the divine in you. It reignites that sense of being greater than just being encased in a human vehicle. It brings out the god and the goddess in you in equal balance, because we are both male and female. That's why I would suggest that you go to images that come from mythology, the Greek gods, the Roman gods, the Celtic gods and goddesses, the Norse gods and goddesses, the Egyptian gods and goddesses. There's a lot out there. Go to a library, or you could do a Google image search, anything like that, and just go straight for the image that calls to you, and then see the story behind it. You might find that you're picking very similar images, so there's a story behind it that's really calling to you, and that's something to be aware of as well. But you may also want to go for an image that's an image from nature, or a land that really calls to you or inspires you, or a wonder of the world that inspires you and helps you to feel and tap into the majesty of this planet that we live on, and the majesty that is all around us and therefore is in you, because the outside is a reflection of our inner world. So think about colours, think about textures, think about how this image makes you feel. It should make you feel the best possible that you can feel. God and goddess-like, celebratory, divine. That's images. Items, power items. Now, these might be those that you've gathered from your travels around the world, and they have a special significance because when you look at them or hold them, they make you feel a certain way. You feel love, you feel happiness, you feel joy. They could have been gifted to you with love, with joy. If you're, if crystals are your thing, then for now I would say please don't go out and buy a whole load of crystals for this. If you have anything around you, then maybe think about using those. Remember that a crystal is helping you to remember the essence of that crystal sits in you. Love, power, strength, clarity, and that with crystals, as with anything, because everything is spirit, we must ask the permission of that crystal before we bring it into our home. So if you're out in a shop, and we will talk about this later, you're to ask permission. Are you the right power item to come back into my sacred space? It's important that it's authentic, that we're not emulating what we've read in a book or we've seen a friend do, or we think would be the most perfect way to do our sacred space. We're just going with what feels right for us. So maybe crystals will work for you. It's a good idea to think about your relationship with the elements in your sacred space. So how much is there of fire, earth, air and water? And is there a balance between all those elements? It's a good idea to have fire, the spark of life, so a candle, and also something of earth, because that's the planet that we live on, and something that has life, plant, flowers. Now, the idea behind having something that has life is that we tend to it every day or every other day. And if we suddenly look up and find that we have a dead plant on our altar or dead flowers, it will be a good indication of where we're at in our daily practice. Because if we're mindfully tending our sacred space every day, then nothing should die in that space. It's always living. So I leave that to you as well if you want to have a plant or flowers, and how you tend to those every day. And we don't need we don't need a shop here. We just need enough to inspire you. One image, a candle and some flowers. If that's what works for you, that's what works for you. The important thing is that you have now, by the end of day 2, by the end of today, you will have created your sacred space with whatever tools, images you need to feel your most connected, your most authentic. You may want to use words or mantras or affirmations that inspire you. Whatever works for you. Go with your heart, go with what feels right, what's going to help you unlock that part of you that is divine. What does the divine part of you want in your sacred space? And that's it. So good luck with creating your space. And in the following days and weeks to come, I shall be guiding you through how you can start to build that connection on a daily basis with simple practices. Tomorrow, you shall be finding your sacred space, your power place in nature. So let's hope the weather's nice. There are many different ways that we can connect, and these videos are just my way of sharing with you some of those tools that have worked for me, and maybe they'll work for you along the way. I wish you so much love in creating your sacred space today. So much beauty, so much power, and so much truth. And so until the next time, so it is. It is so.